Aloha class. Today we're going to be talking about how to create logos and make them simple and natural. So first I'm going to show some of my preliminary work, um, and while showing this I'm going to answer how we successfully design a simple and natural logo, and I'm going to show some of the Illustrator tools used to create a logo. So first off, one of the first things we want to do when creating a logo is preliminary work, where we don't use the computer, but we use a pen or pencil and paper and kind of draw out our ideas. And that way we can get our ideas onto paper. Oftentimes our first ideas are not our best ideas, so this is a very important step. We also want to create balance, good size, um, good color if we're going to use color, and then the typography as well. So on this first design, what I did is I just went with the simple black square background with the to create right there in the center, and then the pen kind of drawing on the background. What I did here is I used the rectangle tool first to go ahead and just make a simple square and then rotate it. Kind of demonstrate that right here. So just make this square, and then by holding down shift we can rotate it to a 45-degree angle, and then just add in shapes and text as well. I'll go ahead and put in some text right now just to show you. So you just right over the top, make it a smaller size so it fits in there. I'll go ahead and type to create in here. So obviously it has to be white text, or different color text if it's going to be a black background. And then we can move the square around or the text around to kind of put it in the middle. So that's what I did. The only thing with this design is I felt it was too plain, too simple. So I kind of went back to my sketches and went down here to a different design where we have, it says design tutor with the nice glasses. So I have the design right here. What I did is I used two different types of typography, um, and then I'll write down, I'll kind of recreate this. Let me delete this bottom one first. I'll go ahead and use the text tool. I'll go ahead and write tutor. The font that I picked for this was Josephine Sands. And then I'll make it a little bit bigger to kind of illustrate what I'm doing. Alright, and so what I'll do now is I'm actually going to copy this O, just make another one right below it, and what I'm going to do now is use the pen tool, or actually I'll use the blob brush tool to go ahead and create the nose piece and the other parts of the glasses. So we'll go ahead and just make these here, and then I really like this tool because you can kind of just draw the line and it curves it and smooths it out for you. So I did this, if you look up here at the top where I kind of brought design and tutor together, um, I liked I liked the look of it. The only thing is I felt there was too much going on. There's two different types of typography, plus the sunglasses or the glasses on the bottom. So I felt like it was a little bit too busy. So next I went to one of my other designs, which is this idea of learning and growing on a staircase. And so if you look at the typography in these two, that's pretty much the only thing that's different. The first one is that's a Courier New font. I like this one better because it's more modern and it's more of a mechanical font. I did try to play around with it a little bit and make it a personal font that I downloaded from the web. This font was called the P. Stacy Fancy. Um, you know, it looked okay, but it looked a little, it just looked like more of a children's font, um, kind of more playful. And for the idea in the field that I wanted to go with, this more mechanical font on the left-hand side, the Courier New, was actually a better choice for me. Next, right here, I have on the right-hand side where it says Design. I had to pay attention to the typography over here as well because I'll show you an example of bad typography. This is Skin Regular. If you look, the the size of the or the I guess the shape of the text, it's kind of all over the place, and not very not very straight. So what I did is I changed the font to more of a straight design font. You see how the I here, they play around with it a little bit to make it just as wide as some of the other characters. By doing that, it's more of a um, straight font. It's still very readable, but at the same time, it doesn't stick out as much as some of the other fonts did. Um, and then next, with the light bulb up here, I liked having the light bulb up here. I'll show how to make that next. But if you look at these fonts as a whole, if we're paying attention to some of the principles that we need to with type, color, size, and balance, the size is okay. I feel like this font or this logo can be used at small and larger fonts. Um, but I just didn't like the balance. Obviously, it's more weighted on the right hand side, and so um, as far as like making a letterhead or something like that, it probably wouldn't look as good because it's off balance. So one of the ideas that I took was using the light bulb and just using the light bulb um, to create a design. And so these are some of the ideas that I came up with. This is actually the idea that I'm going to go for my personal logo is where it says Learn Design. I feel like it has all the correct principles of typography. Is where it's balanced. It does have two different types of typography. We did talk about that in previous sections where if you are going to use two different types or different types, make sure that two is the most that you use, and also make sure that they're unique uh, as well. And so I figured this Learn, um, it was a little bit more personable, as well as where it says design here on the bottom, it's a little bit more mechanical. So it kind of fits both needs, as well as just the light bulb look. It's unique, and it's also pretty appropriate for the type of learning we're doing. And so I'll go ahead and kind of show how we created this real quick. First, what I'll do is I'll create the shape of um, the light bulb. I'll zoom in right here and make one in the very middle. And so the tool I'm going to be using is uh, right up here, the pen tool, and I'm going to show how to create this shape and also how I got this outline as well. So first, basically you just click and drag the pen tool to make a basic shape of what you want to do. So I'm going to make the basic outline of the light bulb. It creates these anchors that we can then play around with later to make them smoother. We can add anchors in between. We can grab a hold and pull the anchors to kind of conform the shape that we want. Next, I'm going to kind of round this bottom part out as well. Alright, so by doing this we have kind of the general shape of a light bulb. What I'm going to use now is this direct selection tool. What that does is it kind of smooths out the, we're able to play with the anchor points and it kind of smooths those out a little bit. You can see some of the areas that were bulging out or kind of going in a little bit too much. And now here what we have is a black light bulb. So what we're going to do is we're going to add anchor points. I'm going to add anchor points onto these, and by doing so it'll make it smooth and kind of round out the shape a little bit more. I can kind of pull this out now. There. Alright, it's okay, it's not a perfect light bulb shape, but I think that creates a little bit more uniqueness to it as well. Now, we have a black light bulb, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy it, make two different shapes, and then what I'm going to do is change the second one to white and make it a little bit smaller. By doing that, what I can now do is drag it over the black light bulb shape and create this this outline that we have here. Next, what I'm going to do is, before I put the text in, I'll go ahead and put the ridges down on the bottom. And so, once again, use the pen tool to kind of create these shapes. And I'm going to use that same I guess, design principle that I just did with overlapping. So, kind of go and follow the shape of the light bulb that we have here, and I'm going to create about 3 of these. Place them right there, right underneath each other. I'm going to also add or copy some more over and make them white like I did with the inside of the light bulb as well, just to kind of create a little bit more shape inside. So what I'll do is I'll drag this right over here, then I'll go ahead and bring this one behind it, and what you can now do is you can select the one that I want, and I send that one to the back, but now the bottom one was still not in the right spot, so kind of have to play around with these a little bit. There you go. So yeah, this is a really nice tool for kind of playing around with different objects and putting things to the front and the back. It allows us to, like here in this situation, play around with the colors. Alright, so now once I have those shapes set up, what I can do is move it right underneath. What I'll have to do now is take the shape of the light bulb and move that again to the front, so we're not covering up any part of that. And there you have it. You have the shape of a light bulb. I showed earlier how to add text, but basically it's the same way. We just click on the text. I'll go ahead and start that here. Now the text that I had for learn was another one that was downloaded. It was this P-Cha-Cha, kind of a funny name, but it's kind of a playful font, and then we can just add in the text right here. Again, line spacing, or spacing, I guess, in between the text, and kind of moving it around. What I think I mentioned this already before, but one of the main things you're going to want to do is make sure that your line spacing is pretty even, especially so it just enough to where it doesn't look like it's off balance or anything, because that's one of the key factors of an amateur. So I hope you learn from this